And we're live. Let's see if the feed picks everything up. Yep, that is working. And can I hear myself? Yep, it is working. And can I hear myself? I can, all right. Hey there, friends. How's life going? I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're ready for today's workout. We are back home, as you can see. No more mountains, but simply the home kitchen. And I'm very much appreciating the support, whoever is providing that this morning. I appreciate the 100s up. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I'm 41 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours in the night. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat overall whole foods, healthy, and I try to eat around 60 to 80 grams of proteins on a regular day, and on a day like today where I am eating or working out with kettlebells, I try to eat 80 to 100 grams of protein to support my strength, muscle building goals. I try to spend time with people I want to care about and do things that I enjoy. That's generally my recipe for health and fitness, and to be happy and healthy in life. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, capable, competent for living and for life. So if that's something you're interested in, then go ahead, hit like, subscribe, and we can continue the conversation. And this morning we're going to do kettlebell swings. We're going to do a lot of different variations. We're also going to do some swing cleans in preparation for different exercises, purely technique based. But that's where we're going to get started with, and I'm adding some push-ups into the mix just to work the upper body in a different way as well. It's 5:26 a.m. The only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to hit the timer and we're going to get started. And while we're doing the workout, we're going to also talk a little bit about health and fitness. Okay. So, by the way, as the warming up, simply taking a lightweight and just getting started with some deadlifts, just to see how the body is moving. There we go. We're doing, it's very light, 8 kilos. We're going to do some 8 kilo one-handed swings as well. So, back home and just trying to get back into the rhythm after 4 weeks of hiking. What is the world going to show us or bring us next? I don't know. But I do know it is nice to be back at home and nice to be working on health and fitness. And if you listened to my podcast yesterday, and I appreciate the hearts and the thumbs up. If you listened to my podcast yesterday, I went for a nice walk in the forest. I now have a good bicycle, As I believe I'm one of the few Dutch people who doesn't really enjoy cycling. So now I can cycle over to the forest, get a 20-minute walk in, and then cycle back. So I'll probably be doing more of that throughout summer. But I saw a deer, and there was a beautiful mist coming off the morning dew on the fields. Actually, I walked through the cornfields, and the morning dew formed an arc over, so it was definitely worthwhile to be out early in the morning and to see what the world has to offer. Yeah, since we're doing one-hand swings, we're also going to do one-hand push-ups. One-hand push-ups, one-hand deadlifts. And then we're going to actually get started with some warm-up swings. And then move on. Single-handed, it's the same as two-handed. Simply telling my body that we are going to be doing some work. And even with a lightweight, you should feel the technique where it matters in the hamstrings and the other hand. And we're still doing everything every minute on the minute. So, health, fitness. What was the impact of the holiday? I think in terms of conditioning, I got quite a bit more conditioned because we hiked 10, 15 kilometers in a day, at least I did, usually between 10 and 20. Right? And especially the uphill hikes were a challenge. But here's the kicker for me. I didn't lose any weight, as in I stayed at the same weight, maybe lost a little bit of fat, but I'm not too sure about that, actually. But all the things that we set out to do, as in being healthy, being fit, working out, training, and then all the training towards this holiday paid off. And that made it incredibly worthwhile. Wow. Okay. We're going to start off with some one-handed swings. I'm going to do 5 and 5 and 5 and 5, starting with 8 kilos. Okay, the first set, we're going to do 5 more of those, 4 more of those. So let's talk about health and fitness. Or how to stay fit and healthy after 40. The key is consistency, okay? It's the one thing that we need to tackle out of everything is consistency. Dan, good morning. Good night for you, I'd say. Near your bedtime, I'd be guessing. Great workout you seem to be having yesterday. So just talking about consistency. And what that means, 2 more sets of one-hand swings to go. 2 more sets to go. What does it mean? Well, it doesn't matter whether it's sleep, food, exercise, connections, or learning. What consistency means is that we are simply showing up regularly and doing the required work. The required work for sleep is to set up a wake-up time and get to bed 8 hours before the required work for food is to have a system in place for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and to stick to it, to make sure that we have all these nutrients okay, and to make sure we're going to build up, see if we can reach the 20 with 5 swings each. Good work. Have a good day. You too, friend. Take care. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. I'll see you either on your next stream or on mine. So, having a system in place for food, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and sticking to that, not for a week, not for a month, but figuring out what that's going to be for a lifetime. Okay. In terms of movement, figuring out what's going to keep us moving, what's going to keep us moving regularly, day by day, in a way that we enjoy over an extended period of time. Okay? Over an extended period of time. I just want you to think about that for a moment. What is the workout that you enjoy most? Okay, Bob's Sound Life. Thanks for dropping by, for saying hi. I hope you're doing alright. Okay? And I appreciate the support of you showing up in chat, saying hi. 5 swings with a 20. I'm back to 15 with a 12. Okay? But movement, not exercise, is the key. So activity throughout the day. So for health and longevity, you need to be consistent in how much you're moving throughout the day. And we need to increase that, to 30 minutes to 90 minutes a day throughout the day. Exercise is a part of that, but what we really need is to interrupt the sitting. Okay, and I think that's the main goal in terms of an active lifestyle, is to move, and to move well, and to move regularly. So basically what I'm saying is you need to find ways every hour to do something for a couple of minutes. Okay, 16, 10 times. And we must always respect the kettlebell. It's a 20-kilo cannonball lying on the floor that we are putting into motion 5 times in this case. Okay. Second set. Here we go. The third set of these is turning into quite the workout. So listen, consistency in terms of how much we move, consistency in terms of who we're hanging out with. And when we're seeing them, there needs to be some schedule there. Okay, 10 times with the 16. Simply going for it. I think my heart is working, getting its conditioning in. So listen, setting up regular time with friends to socialize is as much a part of health, fitness, and longevity as is training and moving the body. Just keep that in mind. And finally, also being consistent in learning something new. We are going into the 4th set now. And the 4th set with a twist. No, I'm joking. Just a 4 set. Straightforward Edit verse, K-pop sound life. Edit verse, thanks for dropping by, saying hi. Hope you're doing alright. We're talking about being consistent for health, fitness after 40. And being consistent basically becomes a lifestyle issue in those 5 areas, right? So, what is my lifestyle around sleep? What is my lifestyle around food? What is my lifestyle around movement and exercise? What is my lifestyle around what is my lifestyle around friendships and connection? What is my lifestyle around mastery and learning? Oh, you're doing good. Thanks for dropping by again, and I appreciate you remembering me from before, and also seeing that I'm still at it. It would be a bit odd to be speaking about consistency if that wasn't the case. And after this, we have one more set. Then we're going to do a couple of different exercises. 5 with a 20. And the final set. Amrit. Oh my god. Brits. It used to be that name, I remember. How are you doing? I hope you're doing alright, and I hope you're well from where you're dialing in from in the world. I'm very glad that you came back to say hi. I hope you're doing well where you're at in the world. And as you can see, except for the few, nothing's changed. We're being consistent. So consistency is that lifestyle thing, right? Because we're pretty consistent in the things we do. We have a lot of habits. The thing is that we need to become aware of those habits. And then ask ourselves, are those the habits that are going to keep us fit and healthy for life? Should probably do a short about that this morning. And the last set of this one We're going to do some different things. And we're going to move on to the next set of exercises. There we go. Okay. Now, for the final time. Oh, we're already out of time. I don't believe it. We're just going to do some rows, a couple more push-ups. So we're at 28 minutes. I don't know where the time went. Maybe I was talking. 15. Probably wasn't mathing properly this morning, but heavy lifts. One side, solid core. And from there, you're just going to practice that one-handed swing and clean with the 8 kilo. And then we're going to be good. I just need to wipe some sweat from my brow. Swing clean, left-handed. Swing clean, receive the weight. Down, 1. Shouldn't hurt, shouldn't be banging into us. It should be propelled into movement. And then where it becomes weightless, we spear the handle of the kettlebell, bringing it to rest on that triangle. Here, 10 times on the right. If you do it right, it feels really good. Okay, back to the rows. And then we're going to be done shortly. All right. And again. Swing and clean. I'm going to do one more set after this, and then we're going to call it a day. So the consistency is a lifestyle thing, and I think we need to get better at understanding the habits we have. And then understanding how the habits that we have formed bleed into our current state of health and fitness. Because at the moment, if you listen to yesterday's podcast, or maybe you want to go check it out, if you listen to yesterday's podcast, you will see that the statistics, or the odds in this case, are against you. It is more likely that you are overweight and therefore at risk of preventable diseases that will shave off precious years of the quality of your life and the quantity of your life simply by virtue of your lifestyle. I wonder how often we consider that we could live without the burden and the side effects of medication until we come to a comfortable old age. And we are done. And as you can see, my kids got very excited about being back home because they got to put out their kettlebell here this morning, last night for the workout. So hey friends, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you dropping by and saying hi. Poor man's Jim, K-pop Stan Life, Amrit. I really do. Thanks for hitting a like, for subscribing, for being around. We're going to have a cup of coffee and get started with the day. And we are going to turn this into a good working day, but I need to be out the house early. Remember that you're good just the way you are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today is going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness is going to go a long way. There are enough people out there who want to put us down, so we lift ourselves up. And the only way to get anything done, friends, by showing up and doing the work. So I will see you tomorrow. Take care, friend.